Success is not a comfortable procedure. Everybody wants to be successful, but nobody wants to feel the heat it takes to get there. We love the spotlight, but we run from the struggle. Let me tell you something. Success don't come wrapped in comfort. It comes wrapped in late nights, early mornings, broken plans, and hard decisions. If you're looking for easy, you can forget about excellence. The truth is, success is not a comfortable procedure. It's painful, it's lonely, it's risky. And that's exactly why most people never reach it. But if you're willing to get uncomfortable, if you're ready to stretch beyond what feels safe, then you just might find the greatness waiting on the other side. Growth only happens outside of comfort. That's just the truth. Nothing extraordinary is born from a place of ease. Comfort keeps you where you are. It whispers in your ear that where you are is good enough, that maybe your dream is too big, too far, too risky. It convinces you to settle. But growth, real growth, starts the moment you decide to challenge what's comfortable. It begins the moment you trade what's easy for what's necessary. When you feel that discomfort, that fear, that resistance, that's not a stop sign. That's a signal you're stepping into the zone where growth lives. Think about every major breakthrough in your life. It didn't happen when you were sitting still, playing it safe, or keeping quiet. It happened when you pushed yourself, when you stayed late, took a risk, made a move even though your knees were shaking. That's what separates those who grow from those who stay the same. Growth doesn't knock politely. It kicks the door in. It throws you into unfamiliar territory. It forces you to figure it out, to adapt, to level up. And that's what success demands. People often think growth means reading more books or watching motivational videos. That might help, but true growth is forged in action. It's forged in the doing. It's in the tough conversations you don't want to have. It's in the job you apply for even though you don't feel qualified. It's in the gym when your body wants to quit, but your mind says, one more. It's in starting a business with little money, but big faith. That's where the magic is, in the uncomfortable stuff that makes you question whether you can really do this. But here's the beauty: discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the beginning of transformation. You don't build muscle by lifting feathers. You don't build courage by hiding. You don't build dreams by playing small. If you want to grow, you have to get used to stretching. And stretching hurts. But every time you stretch, every time you choose growth over comfort, you become more than you were yesterday. You become sharper, wiser, tougher. You gain tools, experiences, and resilience that comfort could never give you. The truth is, comfort is seductive. It'll have you believing that avoiding pain is the goal. But avoiding pain means avoiding purpose. You can't avoid the storm and expect to find the rainbow. You have to go through it. You have to face the grind. Because that's where your strength is built. That's where your character is shaped. That's where your destiny unfolds. You don't grow when it's easy. You grow when it's tough. When you show up even though everything in you wants to stay in bed. When you keep going after being told no, again and again. Growth doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about your effort. It rewards the ones who keep moving, who keep trusting, who keep showing up despite the discomfort. So don't wait for it to feel right. Don't wait until you're ready. Growth happens when you decide to move anyway. When you bet on yourself even when the odds are low. That's the price of success. That's the path. Step out of what's safe. Step into what's possible. Because on the other side of comfort lies everything you've been praying for. Fear is a natural part of the journey to success. It's not something you should try to erase. It's something you need to learn how to walk with. The problem is, too many people wait for fear to go away before they make a move. They want to feel brave before they take the leap. But that's not how it works. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the face of it. The most successful people you know were scared when they started. Scared of failing. Scared of being judged. Scared of losing. But they moved anyway. That's the key. Fear shows up strongest when you're about to do something that matters. If you feel fear, that means you're getting close to something powerful. It means you're stepping into a space that could change your life. But most people back away from that moment. They turn around and retreat to what's familiar. They think fear is a stop sign, but really it's a green light in disguise. It's your spirit letting you know that you're about to grow. And growth always comes with fear riding shotgun. One of the biggest lies fear tells you is that you're not ready. It whispers that you're not qualified, not smart enough, not talented enough. And if you listen, you'll sit on your gift for years. You'll bury your dream and convince yourself that it wasn't meant to be. But here's the truth. You're never going to feel 100% ready. You're never going to wake up one day with zero doubt. You have to move anyway. You have to take action while the fear is still present. That's how you train your mind to trust your spirit more than your emotions. Every great breakthrough in your life is going to require you to push through some fear. It's going to demand that you get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's not easy. Fear doesn't show up empty-handed. It brings anxiety, stress, and a whole lot of excuses. But none of those things can stop a made-up mind. When you decide that your future matters more than your fear, that's when things shift. That's when doors start to open. That's when you find out just how much strength you really have. Fear will never completely disappear. Even when you succeed, even when people start clapping for you, fear still tries to creep in. It'll make you doubt whether you can maintain the success. It'll make you question your worth. But the difference is by then, you'll know how to move anyway. You'll know how to take the fear with you, but not let it drive. You'll say, I see you, fear, but I'm still going. And that mindset is unstoppable. You don't have to be fearless to be successful. You just have to be willing to try, willing to fail, willing to learn, willing to get back up, willing to go scared. That willingness is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Because if you let fear run your life, you'll always play small. You'll always stay where it's safe. But if you decide that your purpose is greater than your panic, that your vision is greater than your nerves, you'll start walking in boldness. So don't wait for fear to go away. Move anyway. Speak anyway. Show up anyway. Apply anyway. Try anyway. That's how you win. That's how you grow. That's how you reach the life you were created for. Fear may show up, but it doesn't get to be the boss. You do. You're in charge. And when you decide to push forward, no matter what, you send a message to the universe that you're ready for what's next. Discomfort is the training ground for greatness. When you're trying to grow, to break barriers, to step into success, you're going to run into situations that make you uneasy. That's the point. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Comfort feels good, but it doesn't challenge you. It doesn't stretch you. It doesn't prepare you for what you're asking for. If you're praying for bigger opportunities, more success, and a new level in life, you've got to be willing to go through the discomfort that comes with preparing for that level. See, people often pray for the prize, but run from the process. They want the platform, but don't want the preparation. But life doesn't work like that. You can't get strength without lifting heavy things. You can't get wisdom without facing hard decisions. You can't lead without learning how to handle pressure. Discomfort is what builds your capacity. It's what gets you ready. It's not a punishment. It's a promotion in disguise. Think about an athlete in training. They don't get better by staying in bed. They get better by pushing their body, by breaking a sweat, by showing up even when they're sore. That's the same thing life does to you when you're chasing success. It stretches you. It makes you feel the burn. It takes you past your limits. But on the other side of that discomfort is everything you've been praying for. The version of you that can handle the blessing is forged in the fire of discomfort. The problem is, most people quit the moment it gets hard. They start something with excitement. But the second it starts costing them something, their time, their sleep, their peace, they back away. But here's the truth. Everything worth having comes with a cost. And you can't buy success with comfort. You pay for it with discipline, with consistency, with sacrifice. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your teacher. It's showing you where you need to grow, where you need to toughen up, where you need to lean on faith. And you've got to understand this too. Discomfort doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It often means you're on the right track. The enemy doesn't bother people who aren't making progress. Resistance shows up when you're moving forward. When you feel the discomfort of growing pains, that's your sign to keep going, not to stop. That means the breakthrough is near. That means the shift is happening. That means you're not who you used to be. And that's powerful. Now, you've got to stop chasing ease. Ease will rob you of excellence. It will keep you stuck in average. It will make you settle for good enough when greatness is still possible. You weren't built to live in neutral. You were built to rise. But you can't rise without a little struggle. You can't level up without discomfort knocking on your door. So the next time it feels hard, don't run. Lean in. When it's uncomfortable, that's the moment to push harder. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself that this pain has a purpose, that this storm is shaping you, that this pressure is producing something powerful in you. Diamonds are made under pressure. Gold is purified by fire. And you are being refined for something greater. Let discomfort do its job. Let it stretch you, build you, and prepare you. Because when you come out on the other side, you won't just be successful. You'll be strong enough to sustain it. And that's what real success looks like. Not just reaching the top, but being built enough to stay there. Success demands discipline and sacrifice. Two things most people avoid because they come wrapped in discomfort. But you can't build something great while living soft. You can't reach the top if you're not willing to do what others won't. The truth is, success doesn't come from talent alone. It doesn't come from wishing or talking about what you want. It comes from putting in the work every day, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you said it in has left. And that's where greatness is born. You're not going to feel motivated all the time. You won't always be in the mood to hustle, to show up, to grind. But discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline keeps going when feelings stop. It's getting up early when your bed feels warm. It's saying no to distractions when they call your name. It's turning down comfort for commitment. Because at the end of the day, you don't rise to your dreams. You fall to your habits. And if your habits are lazy, if your habits are inconsistent, if your habits are weak, then success will stay a stranger to you. Success takes the kind of focus that blocks out noise. It takes making tough decisions. It means you might have to walk alone for a while. It means turning off the TV when everybody else is watching. It means leaving parties early, missing out on the fun, skipping that vacation, because you know your vision demands more. This is sacrifice. This is saying, not now, so you can say yes to something bigger later. It's hard, it's lonely, and it's real. But every person who has achieved anything worthwhile has walked that path. You see, you can't be ordinary and expect extraordinary results. You can't stay in the crowd and lead the pack. Success requires you to rise above average, to do what's hard, to train your mind to think differently. It's not about shortcuts or hacks. It's about showing up when it's not convenient. It's about staying consistent when nobody is watching. It's about being accountable to your goals even when no one is clapping for you. Sacrifice is giving up something you love for something you love more. It might be comfort. It might be time. It might be money. But if you want something you've never had, you've got to be willing to do something you've never done. You can't change your life without changing your choices. And those choices, the hard ones, the ones that require faith, grit, and patience, are the ones that move you forward. You've got to learn to delay gratification. Don't trade what you want most for what you want right now. That little nap, that extra hour on your phone, that night out, it might feel good for a moment, but it could cost you momentum. And momentum is everything. When you've got it, success gets closer. But when you lose it, you have to fight to get it back. Discipline protects your momentum. Sacrifice accelerates your progress. So ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to get where you're going? What comforts are you ready to leave behind? Because the life you want, the breakthrough, the level up, the dream, it's on the other side of your discipline. It's waiting for the version of you who's willing to work through the pain, the fatigue, and the setbacks. And if you can stay locked in, if you can keep showing up and keep sacrificing, then success won't just knock on your door. It'll break it down. Growth doesn't happen when everything is easy. Growth happens in the stretch, in the pressure, in the uncomfortable moments when you feel like quitting, but keep going anyway. See, the real progress begins the moment you step beyond what's familiar. It's easy to stay where it's safe. It's easy to do what you've always done. But nothing great comes from playing it safe. If you want to evolve, if you want to become the person you were designed to be, you've got to embrace being uncomfortable. That discomfort is not a sign you're failing. It's proof you're growing. Every time you challenge yourself, every time you push past fear or step into something you've never done before, you're expanding your capacity. You're building new strength. That nervousness, that uncertainty, it's part of the process. Think about a muscle. It doesn't grow unless it's stretched and strained. It's the resistance that builds strength. The same is true for your character, your mindset, your spirit. You've got to go through something to become something. And growth is always painful before it's powerful. The reason people stay stuck is because they avoid this very thing. They avoid growth because growth requires effort. It demands patience. It calls for you to let go of your excuses, your fears, and sometimes even the people around you. But what they don't understand is this staying the same is painful too. Living below your potential hurts. Waking up every day knowing you could do more, be more, achieve more. That's a slow kind of pain that eats at your peace. So if pain is part of both paths, you might as well choose the one that leads to purpose. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need the whole plan mapped from A to Z. What you need is the courage to take the first step, even when it's shaky. Growth is not about being perfect. It's about being willing. Willing to learn. Willing to fail. willing to look foolish for a season if it means becoming wise in the next one. You've got to stop waiting until you feel ready. Most of the time, you won't. But you do it anyway, because who you become on the other side is worth it. Sometimes, growth requires isolation. You might have to walk alone for a while. People won't always understand your journey. They'll question your choices. They might even mock your dreams, but that's okay. Growth is personal. It's between you and your vision. It's between who you were and who you're becoming. Don't let small minds talk you out of big growth. Protect your peace, guard your focus, and keep moving forward even when no one's clapping. You'll stumble. You'll fall. You'll question whether it's all worth it. But then you'll look up and realize you're not the same person who started. You're stronger. You're wiser. You've got resilience now. That's the reward of growth. It changes you from the inside out. And that change, that transformation, that's the real success. Because once you've grown, once you've stretched, once you've become more than you were, no one can take that from you. That's yours forever. So when life challenges you, when the road gets rough, when it feels like everything is stretching you, don't shrink back. Lean into it. Push through it. Trust the process. Because growth isn't just about reaching a goal. It's about becoming the person who's capable of carrying the dream. And that version of you is forged in the fire, not in the comfort zone. Success doesn't happen when you whisper about it. Success doesn't show up when you just think about it. It responds to action. The world makes room for people who are bold enough to move. You can pray all day, dream all night, but until you take a step, until you put in some real work, nothing changes. Too many people are waiting for perfect timing, waiting until they feel ready, waiting for all the signs to line up. But let me tell you something, motion creates opportunity. Action opens doors. When you move, you start to attract what you need. But if you stay still, if you stay stuck in your fear, nothing is going to shift. There's a power in showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. Even when you're tired. Even when you're afraid. That's what separates people who succeed from those who just talk about success. It's not always about talent. It's not always about who's the smartest or most connected. Sometimes it's about who refused to give up. Who kept grinding? Who kept moving when it got hard? Because the truth is, life rewards effort, not wishes, not hope. Effort. Effort is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. You have to become the kind of person who takes initiative. You see a gap, fill it. You see a need, step in. Don't wait for someone to hand you an opportunity. Don't wait for someone to pick you. Pick yourself, put yourself in position. Do the work in silence if you have to. Do it when no one's watching. Do it without applause. Because eventually, the results will speak so loud, you won't have to. You're not here to convince people. You're here to build. You're here to grow. You're here to take what you've been given and make something powerful out of it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to start. Start with what you have. Start where you are. Some of the most successful people didn't begin with the best tools. They didn't have the most money, the best background, or the perfect timing. They had a vision and they backed it up with action. That's the difference maker. That's what shifts lives. That's what builds legacy. Stop underestimating the impact of your movement. A small step forward beats standing still any day. You will make mistakes. You will fall. But you'll learn, you'll grow. You'll adjust. That's the beauty of motion. It's how you discover what works. It's how you develop resilience. It's how you build the confidence to keep going. The worst thing you can do is sit on your dreams, Bury your potential under excuses. You weren't designed to live safe. You were designed to rise. You were designed to chase. You were designed to be a living example of what's possible when you act in faith and back it up with work. This world doesn't owe you anything, but it will respond to your grind. It will respond to your hustle. It will respond when you stop waiting and start moving. When you stop doubting and start doing. Your destiny is not sitting around waiting to knock on your door. It's out there waiting for you to show up, to claim it, to work for it. Every time you act, you get closer. Every time you move, the universe takes notice. So keep going, keep pressing, keep showing up. Action is your responsibility. Results are just the reward. So let me leave you with this. Success was never meant to be easy, and it sure wasn't meant to be comfortable. It demands something from you. It pulls you out of your ease, pushes you into growth, and tests your faith along the way. But the pain you feel in the process is just proof that you're on the right path. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you stretch, when you struggle, and when you refuse to quit. So stop waiting for it to feel right. Stop looking for shortcuts and start embracing the grind. Because once you commit, once you move with purpose and act with faith, success won't just be a dream, it'll be your reality. Keep pushing. You're closer than you think.